dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a well-known former educator, sheriff, and mayor in Perry County died this week. WYMT's Madison Pergram is in the newsroom and has more on the life of Pat Wooten. Madison.
Steve, as I was talking to people today, Pat Wooten was a name everybody knew here in Perry County and beyond the county line. Wooten, a Vietnam veteran, served the community in many capacities. He was a Perry County sheriff, worked for Congressman Hal Rogers, and was the mayor of Buckhorn. But Larry Sparks, a friend of Wooten's, says his fondest memories were of him as a Buckhorn teacher, principal, and coach.
We didn't have any kind of organized Little League or sports in Buckhorn. He would just take a gang of us that happened to be getting together to kind of play the best we could on a field somewhere, and he would start kind of working with us in a more formal way.
Now, Wooten was 74 years old, and funeral arrangements have not been yet announced. We will have more on his life and legacy coming up. Steve.
All right, Madison, thank you. In one of his final acts as governor, a Knox County man involved in a murder case was pardoned by Matt Bevin. Patrick Baker was convicted of reckless homicide among several other charges, leading to a 19-year sentence. He was one of 5 people involved in a break-in that left Donald Mills dead several years ago. The family of Mills cannot believe how Baker could possibly be pardoned.
He is no better than the rest of them. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are, what you did, or whatever. That don't give you a right to take somebody's life.
Coming up tonight at 6, more on why the family says this was the worst day of the year for them to learn of the pardon.
Well, I'm out here in Knott Central for the WYMT Food City Mountain Classic. Quiet now behind me. That'll be a different view as we head into the next couple of hours. But it was a gorgeous day in the mountains. It was a beautiful drive here, seeing the snow on some of the mountains. Most of it, though, has melted. Let's go ahead and take you up to US 119, US 23 over into Jenkins, and you can definitely see where that snow has melted. Roadways could be a little bit slick as we head into tonight, but they are starting to dry out a little bit. Satellite and radar, though, a much different story from this time yesterday, looking a lot cleaner. Could be seeing some snow showers, though, moving into parts of I-64, that Moorhead area. Just some flurries possible as we head into really the next couple of hours. Those temperatures, upper 30s, lower 40s. Most of us didn't even get to the 40s today. Definitely on the chilly side out there, so if you are headed out tonight, make sure to bundle up. But the good news is wind speeds moving in from kind of that southwest. That'll help us warm up as we head into tomorrow. They're pretty calm right now, anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So with those wind speeds, warmer temperatures as we head into your Thursday, though, rain chances, though, right around the corner. And are we going to see more cold move in as we head into the next couple of days? We do have 2 systems that we'll be tracking as we head into the next couple of days. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you very much, Paige. Today, Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz answered lawmakers' questions at a contentious hearing about his report into the origins of the Russia probe. Horowitz stuck by his conclusions that the FBI's decision to investigate Trump campaign ties to Russia was not politically motivated, and also that the Bureau made serious missteps. CBS's Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
You know, I think the activities we found here don't vindicate anybody.
Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz testified before Senate lawmakers days after issuing his report about the origins of the FBI's Russia probe.
So many basic and fundamental errors were made by 3 separate handpicked investigative teams on one of the most sensitive FBI investigations.
The report released Monday highlighted issues with how agents got approval to monitor Trump campaign aide Carter Page.
If you don't have a legal foundation to surveil somebody and you keep doing it, is that bad?
Absolutely.
Is that spying?
It's illegal surveillance.
Horowitz uncovered an FBI lawyer doctored an email from the CIA that indicated Page was a CIA source.
That is in turn used as the basis for a sworn statement to the court that the court relies on. Am I stating that accurately?
That's correct. That is what occurred.
In his testimony, Horowitz rejected the idea that the FBI engaged in illegal surveillance of the Trump campaign and stood by his conclusion that the Russia investigation was properly opened.
Did your report uncover systematic political bias at the FBI.
We did not find documentary testimonial evidence to support a finding of bias.
Republicans have repeatedly pointed to anti-Trump texts sent between FBI agents Lisa Page and Peter Strzok to dispute that.
You also found some agents at the FBI who had an exactly opposite political viewpoint.
Individuals at the Justice Department and the FBI are allowed to have their political views.
President Trump weighed in during the hearing, tweeting that the FBI spied on his campaign. Both the president and Attorney General William Barr have disputed the report's findings and maintain the FBI unfairly targeted the president. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Debate on the articles of impeachment begins tonight with the House Judiciary Committee. If the charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress against President Donald Trump are passed out of committee, they will go to the floor of the House for a vote. If passed in the House, the Republican-controlled Senate will hold a trial.
Totally surprised if there were 67 senators to remove the president.
It is not yet clear if the Senate will call witnesses to testify as part of the trial. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who you just heard from, says if the House approves the articles of impeachment, an impeachment trial will be the first order of business in January. Michael Bloomberg is donating $10 million to Democratic lawmakers. The former mayor turned presidential candidate is giving the money to representatives facing attack ads for supporting the impeachment of President Trump. Last month, he announced he will spend $100 million on his own anti-Trump ads. He dropped more than $100 million in donations during last year's midterm elections to help flip the House to Democrats. We're learning more about a deadly shooting in New Jersey yesterday that killed 5 people, including a police officer. The mayor of Jersey City says the 2 shooters targeted a Jewish kosher deli. 2 Jersey City officers on patrol just a block away killed the suspects. One of the officers died. 2 others who responded were wounded. They are expected to recover.
Heroically placed themselves in the line of fire attempting to give the information, and both of them received gunshot wounds.
Investigators are not saying what a motive is, but the New York Times is reporting one suspect published an anti-Semitic and anti-police posts online. A Federal Aviation Administration analysis found a high risk of future crashes after the Lion Air disaster. All 189 people on board were killed in October 2018 when a Boeing 737 MAX crashed in Indonesian waters. A Federal Aviation Administration analysis of the plane model found it is significantly more likely to crash than other aircraft. Despite the findings, the FAA did not ground the 737 MAX until after a second crash months later in Ethiopia. 157 people were killed in that crash. A small plane crashed in the middle of a street in Phoenix, Arizona this morning. Firefighters with the Phoenix Fire Department say 2 people were on board the plane but were not hurt. From this video, you can see the plane sustained heavy damage. One of the wings appears to have broken off. Several parked cars were damaged and one was even flipped over. No word on what caused that plane crash. Let's head over to Wall Street now this Wednesday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 29 points. 16-year-old Swedish environmental activist Greta Thunberg is Time magazine's youngest person of the year. The magazine says this was the year the climate crisis went from behind the curtain to center stage, and no one did more to make that happen than Thunberg. She tweeted today that she shares the honor with all climate activists everywhere. Straight ahead on First at 4, using credit cards to buy Christmas gifts, millions are putting themselves in debt. Find out ways to climb out of it just ahead.
And warmer temperatures and rain chances are on the way. I'll have more details on that coming up.